Okay, you guys, so let me zoom out here so you can see. All right, this is going to be a little bit different. So what we are going to go over today, all right, is using mental math to multiply 2 by 2-digit numbers. All right, so that's going to be our focus for today for math. Now, yesterday, we kind of talked about this a little bit, all right? It's very similar. I told you we were moving into our multiplying. We were going to start working with multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. So yesterday we worked on this. Let's just do a little bit of a review here. All right. We did problems where we worked with arrays, okay? And say we had 23 times 20. All right, I have a 2-digit number here and a 2-digit number here. All right, so the trick I showed you yesterday was that even though we haven't learned exactly how to multiply 2-digit by 2-digit numbers, we can still figure out this problem, this multiplication problem. And to do that is we need to cover up the 0, okay? And what are we left with? Okay, we're left with 23 times 2. Okay, so I know how to multiply this out. I can do that. All right, I need to rewrite it so I can figure out what that is. Okay, so let me rewrite that down here. So I covered up that 0 and pretending it's not there, and I'm going to rewrite this problem, what's left, so I can multiply it. All right, so 23 times 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2 times 3, and that equals 6. And then I'm going to do 2 times 2, which equals 4, right? So when I multiply 23 times 2, I get 46. Okay, so I have that part of my answer. Let me just erase that really quick. I won't forget it. So 23 times 2 was 46. And then now what I need to do is I need to add back that 0, right? Because I covered up the 0. I multiplied 23 times 2. That gave me 46. And then I add that 0 to my answer. So 23 times 20 equals 460. Okay, so this is what we did yesterday. Today, what we're going to be working with is, I think, in my opinion, even easier. All right, we're going to be working with mental math and multiplying, excuse me, 2-digit by 2-digit numbers. So we're going to take some notes first. All right, notice how I said we are going to take some notes, right? So you need to write down these notes here in your journal. If you need to pause the video so you can write down what I have, go for it, all right? But I'm going to go ahead and add some more things here. Pause the video as you're listening to it so you can write down our notes. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do so we know what we need to do when we're multiplying, all right? Let me find something here. Okay, so we're going to write out the steps here on how we are going to figure out these problems for today. Okay, so step number 1 is that first, when you see that multiplication problem, a 2 by 2-digit multiplication problem, the first thing you need to start doing is try to remember your facts, okay? Hopefully y'all have been practicing because I have been telling you to practice. If you know you're not that good with your multiplication facts, please practice them, especially if you know you struggle with them, because it makes math so much easier if you know your facts. Okay, so that's our first step. Pretty easy, is just to get your brain ready, remember those facts. Okay, step 2 is that we need to cover up the zeros. And now, right now, we're just writing out the steps. I'll give you an example here in a bit so you can see what I'm talking about and we can see these steps in action. Okay, so step 2 is just cover up the zeros. All right, then we move to step 3. After you cover up those zeros, you're going to multiply the numbers that are left. Okay, so this is after we cover up those zeros. Whatever numbers are left, you're going to multiply them. Okay, it should be a math fact like 2 times 3 or 4 times 5. All right, so we're going to multiply the numbers that are left. Step 4 is that we will write down the answer. Write down the answer for the numbers we multiply. Okay, so after I do step 3, I multiply the numbers that are left. I should get an answer, right? I'm going to write down that answer, okay, from the numbers that we multiplied. I'm going to write down that answer. And then step number 5, the last one, okay, is to add the zeros back. Okay, I put this in all caps because this is an important step or else you'll get your problem wrong. Okay, so add the zeros back to your answer. Maybe I should put that. Let me put that there. Add the zeros back to your answer. Okay, it's very important. If you don't do that, your answer is probably going to be wrong. So let's look at an example. Okay, if I have the problem, let's do, say I have 40 times 90. Okay, this is my example. I have the problem 40 times 90. Well, I can use mental math pretty easy, pretty quick and easy to solve this problem. All right, so step number 1, I'm trying to remember my facts. All right, I'm starting to think of them. All right, step number 2 is that I'm going to cover up the zeros. So if I put my pencil here and I cover up that 0, and I get my other pen here and I cover up this 0, let's see there. All right, it's a tiny bit hard to see, but what numbers do I have left? If you said 4 and 9, you're right. Okay, so we have the numbers 4 and 9 left, and we're now going to move to step 3. We're going to multiply the numbers that are left. So we are going to multiply 4 times 9. Okay, so what is 4 times 9? This is where I told you step number 1 kind of comes into play. We're remembering our facts, right? I should be thinking, oh, 4 times 9, what is that? 4 times 9. Oh, I know, I remember. 4 times 9 equals 36. Okay, so this is where step number 4 happens. We need to write down that answer. What was 4 times 9? Oh, 4 times 9 equaled 36. Okay, so I just did step number 4. Now, I need to do step number 5. This is very important. Add the zeros back to your answer, to my answer. So I have 36 here, but how many zeros did I cover up? If you said 2, you were right because I have a 0 here, I have a 0 here. There's 2 zeros. So that means for my answer, I need to add 2 zeros. Okay? So 40 times 90 equals 3,600 or 3,600. Okay? How was that? Not too bad, right? I don't think so. I think this was pretty easy. All right? But that's my opinion. Let's look at another one really quick. Okay? So if I have 70 times 50, I can figure out this one easy, pretty easy as well. Okay, I'm going to use these steps to help me. So first I should be thinking about my facts. I need to get my facts ready. What do I know about my facts? Okay, and I'm going to cover up those zeros. So let me cover them up. What am I left with? What numbers? A 7 and a 5. Good. Okay, so we covered up the zeros. Now we need to multiply the numbers that are left. So we're going to multiply, you can see it right there, 7 times 5. All right, what does that equal? 7 times 5. If you said 35, you're correct. Okay, so step number 4 was write down the answer. So 7 times 5, what did I say that equaled? That equaled 35. All right, so I wrote down my answer here. That's for step number 4. Last thing I need to do is add those zeros back. How many zeros did I cover up? 1, 2. So how many zeros do I need to add to my answer? 1, 2. Okay, good. So what is 70 times 50? 3,500 or 3,500. Good. So please write down these notes in your journal. All right. You should write them down. Like I said, even though I'm not here in person, we're not doing this over Zoom. You're still watching this video and I'm telling you, write this down. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Watch the next video for the guided practice for today's lesson.